Hey, it's your pal Dtar here, and today we're going to rank magical girl anime because it's the genre I'm in the deepest for the longest time. And there's some criteria I had to make for what I consider to be a magical girl anime or franchise because I thought about really going off the rails and including some oddball stuff like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I had to really narrow it down so it can just really be about magical girl stuff. Or magical person. It doesn't necessarily need to be a girl. First qualification is the main character transforms or has some kind of power that they use for good. 2, the main character has to be the magical girl. Has to be a magical girl. It can't have a side character magical girl. The main focus needs to be the magical girl. So like no Jahi or recreators. Those shows have magical girls in them, but they aren't the main character or the main focus. 3, that they fight some sort of probably allegorical evil force. Because there's some shows where just like magical girls chilling, like my next door neighbor's a demon, and I don't think those fall more into like cute girls doing cute things in my opinion, or like Yashike. And there's 2 franchises that I didn't include because I don't really know enough about them to confidently rank them. And that's Cutie Honey, which is like the OG magical girl show, and Magic Knight Rayearth, which I want to look at. I want to look into that one. It looks pretty cool. And here are the tiers for today. The highest accolade is iconic, an absolute icon. The ones that I think are the best and are very influential, but mostly the ones I think are the best. The second one is great, ones that are great but aren't necessarily as iconic as the icons. And the third one is the one that pains me the most, good but not really a magical girl anime. A lot of magical girl shows can like have other genre elements into them, but in these ones those other genres really take over. This one is just for ones that are just okay. Not great, but not necessarily bad. This one is for sussies, little sussies. Ones that have something about them that are a little bit sus. You'll see. People are going to hate me for this one, but the overrated one. Ones that I don't necessarily think are bad or anything. I just don't personally agree with the hype over them. Or I just personally don't see them as the absolute godsends that most people do. And the last one is for Madoka clones, because in magical girl anime there's 2 eras, pre-Madoka and post-Madoka, and you'll see the difference. In post-Madoka there's a ton of people that want to be Madoka. The first one is Sailor Moon. She's the one named Sailor Moon. So, most people consider this iconic, and it is iconic. It's a big influence on a lot of these other shows, but the problem is, the show got so overhyped to me that I had such high expectations, and then when I read the manga, I really did not care for it, because the pacing is very whack. It's just like, character, another character, new arc, new character, another club, no sleep, another character. And it just doesn't give you any time to breathe or really care about anything. And I just don't like that, because I really want to connect with characters. I want to know who they are, and I want to just feel something. But, like, I just couldn't care about anything that was going on with the Sailor Moon manga, because it just never gave you a chance to breathe. And like I said, I have a family member that thinks that this is God's gift to the world, and so she will not take any sort of alternatives to that. And I'm just not about that life. And I think I'd probably have a bigger place in my heart for this show if I was born if I was a bit older. Because I was past the time where Sailor Moon was everywhere. So to me, it's a bit overrated, unfortunately. I mean, I don't think it's bad. I think the anime really helps with the pacing issues, but I just don't think it lives up to the hype, in my opinion. Or at least not the manga, at least. Next one, Card Captor Sakura. I actually have some pretty good, a funny story about this. So growing up, I remember like going to the toy store and seeing Card Captor Sakura dolls, and like I had no idea where the character was from, but I thought that she looked so pretty, and I loved all of her little outfits, especially the cat one. And so when I finally learned where she was from, I was like so excited, and I really enjoy this series. It's cool. And it's also pretty iconic how like basically a doujinshi circle could get so big. And all the characters are really fun, all the outfits, all the powers. It's a good story. I like it. Although it gets kind of muddled with later on with all of their weird crossover crap that Clamp loves to do. I mean, I also like the crossover stuff, but it just gets confusing. Next one, but it's iconic. The only thing is that this one, she doesn't transform. So that's kind of lame, but I love all the different outfits because she doesn't have to be stuck. She's not restrained to like one costume. I think that's really cool. Next one is Revolutionary Girl Utena. This is by my favorite director, Kunihiko Ikuhara. So of course I'm gonna like it. It has Zettai Unmei Mokoji Shiroku. I'm not sure if it's iconic or if it's great. So I don't know. It's like I don't think it really became a big influence on anything. I think I'm just gonna put in great for now, but I'll reevaluate later. Ooh. This is the first magical girl show I've ever actually watched. I say small tar. Ojamajo Doremi. Back when it was on 4Kids, known as Magical Doremi. But I really like this show. It has such a great aesthetic, and it can handle some darker topics. I think it's iconic. And Dress Up Darling, like, very heavily references the show. It's basically the magical girl show Marin's into is basically just Doremi. It mixed with a little bit of Precure, I guess. And it's iconic because, like, a lot of people like to emulate the art style. Although it also gets tied into Precure as well because it has the same character designer as Heartcatch Precure, which is also very popular. Next is Tokyo Mumu. This is another one I watched very early on in my life. I like it, but I mean, it's iconic because a lot of shows tend to take influence from it, especially Precure. Oh my god. Precure really loves to ape on Tokyo Mumu's style. But I mean, I don't really like the romance in this show. It wasn't my jam. I really wanted the main character Ichigo her name's Ichigo, right? To end up with the blonde dude, but of course, impossible. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna put in iconic or good, great. I think I'll put in great. I'm sorry, but it's iconic for like the designs and the aesthetic, and like having the whole cafe setting, and for the thought of combining Kimono Mimi and Magical Girls. Oh, this one's one I really love. Full Moon of Sagashite by Alina Tanemura. I really like her stuff. I've actually read this manga multiple times. But here's the deal. I really don't think this is a magical girl show or story. It's a drama. It's about a girl trying to overcome her illness to get her final wish. She doesn't fight anyone, so it doesn't really qualify. But a lot of people say it's a magical girl show, so I put it in. But I really like it, nonetheless. Even though it gets a little sussy towards the end. With some strangeness. But it's true love. don't worry about it. So I'm gonna put in not good, but not really a magical girl show, because it's not. It's like an idol show, and a drama. It's not. She's transformed. She isn't fighting anyone. Who's she fighting? Her illness, I guess. Next is an icon. It's Princess Tutu. It's the two ninjas playing guitar show. It's pretty great. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna put an iconic or great. I think I'll put in great for now, and we'll think about it. Precure. Pika. Okay. I have Futariwa as the picture, but I'm trying to encompass the entire franchise as a whole. And it's iconic, obviously. So I'm a huge Precure stan. I thought about including giving its own tier since I'm so biased towards Precure. But I do think it's iconic because in the past, 10, 15 years, whenever, magical girl anime, especially ones that kids like, get referenced in other shows, it's usually referencing Precure. 9 times out of 10. And I just love it, okay? Don't judge me. The next one... and if you want to see how I'd rank all the seasons of Precure, check out my previous video. And the next one's one that really hurts. Really, really hurts. Because I love Lyrical, Nanoha, a lot. It's one of my favorites. Franchises in this whole list, after Precure. But there's another problem. It's only, a magical girl show for, 2 seasons at most. And it has, 5 seasons. Because it gets weird. Shit gets weird. It becomes, tokusatsu, very tokusatsu-y, and, military. And then it becomes a sports anime. It's weird. And then, not to mention the fact that at one point it becomes a spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off, which is really strange, because the original Nanoha was a spin-off of some ecchi game, and then Nanoha Vivid spins off of this one, which is the sports anime. And then Vivid Strike spins off of that, which is still a sports anime, but has nothing to do with Nanoha anymore, except for having VVO, I guess. But I love it. It has lesbian icons, and it has my queen, Nana Mizuki. What's there to hate about this? I wish I could put an iconic, but unfortunately, it doesn't really qualify as a magical girl show for most of its run. Let's see what's next. Shugo Shada. This is another pretty good one. A lot of people think that, Miraculous Ladybug is inspired by Shugo Shada, but I don't know. I don't believe that. I think Miraculous Ladybug's just derivative of everything. But it's good. I've read this one a few times. It's about a girl and some eggs and a cat boy. What's there to hate about that? But I don't think it's the best. Oh boy. Here comes the little sussy. It's Fate Khalid Liner Ilia Prismagica, whatever. It's very sussy. Which is unfortunate because I love the Fate franchise. And I really like the Emiya Einsburn family. And I really like that they finally have a time to be together and be happy, but it's ruined by being very sussy and questionable. And it's also unfortunate because it's a direct parody of Nanoha, because it's a spin-off of an ecchi series, and where the main character, the little sister character, is a magical girl. But it's very sussy, and I'm not going to say why. Just Google it. Just Google fan art of the characters. You'll find out. You'll figure it out. But yeah, unfortunate that's so sussy. Because I really want Emiya, all the Emiyas, and Ilya and Iriasvale to live happy together, and they get to in this show, but I can't get past the sussiness. Oh boy, we're finally here at the Cataclysm with Madoka Magica, which I mean is pretty sus. No, it's not sus. It's not. I don't know why I said that. But it's a cataclysm. Everything changed when the Madokas attacked. Because everyone suddenly wanted to be Madoka. Because it was so influential for the time. That everyone wanted to be like this cool subversive tale in magical girl shows. But, like, I really liked it at first. Like, when it was airing. But the issue was that, like, the more I thought about it, the more I, like, watched, like, video analysis and stuff, I realized that I just don't, I think it's kind of hollow. There's something, it just doesn't really have, like, heart. It feels like it's going through the motions of being, like, basically, like, Oscar bait, except for, like, anime version. But that's just my opinion, and I think it's kind of my own issue, because I just don't like Gen Urobuchi's writing style very much. I don't really like most of his work. Only like, I guess, Fate Zero, maybe Psychopath, like maybe, but I don't know. He's always too edgy and very plot driven, which isn't great because I really like character driven works. So I'll have to put it in overrated because, I mean, like, I don't think it's bad per se. I just don't like it very much. And I know it's very iconic. Like, without Mad Madoka, we wouldn't have a lot of these ones down here. But I just can't. I can't. But it has Hidamari's sketch character designer, and like the character designs are very cute. Gotta have that. Oh boy, it's another one of my favorites. Over here. It's Symphogear. I love Symphogear. Like, a lot. I own a lot of the figurines for the show. So it's very... This one's like Nanoha, in that it's, like, genre. It's two genres, basically. It's, like, singing, it's magical girl, it's tokusatsu, it's drama. It's everything you want it to be, and more. It's horror at times. But basically, this show is basically like an excuse to have hype music, and it's so good. The music in this show is amazing. Like, I love all the characters, I love the attacks, and like how extra everything is. It's great. You're gonna love it. Check out Symphogear. But I'll put it under Nanoha because I don't think it's as great as Nanoha, but it's quite good, and it also has great lesbians. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not quite magical girl anime. It's more like tokusatsu-y, in my opinion. And here's another Symphogear-esque show. Gotta be Twin Tails Ore ni Twin... I can't... I don't remember the Japanese title off the top of my head right now. It's too late. Gotta be Twin Tails. I like this show. It's very Symphogear-esque in the aesthetic. And having the whole mecha feel, which I really like. I like the whole mecha tokusatsu crossover with magical girls. It looks really cool. This show's fun. It's a sex swap, I guess, gender bender. I don't know what the correct term for that is, but the main character is a male, and he can turn into a cute little girl. And at one time, he gets turned regularly into a girl, and he's pretty chill with that. I gotta respect that. This is more of a comedy, with like the whole tokusatsu magical girl elements of it. But I think it's pretty good. It's pretty fun. It has a lot of fan service though, so if you have to be okay with that. We're back with another little sussy. This is Maho Magical Girl Ore, or Maho Shoujo Ore. This one, I really wanted it to be good. But it has really great character designs. Like, look at these hunky dudes. And I love hunky dudes. But there's a problem. This show is homophobic. They can't resist making constant gay jokes every 5 seconds. And like, I mean, I'm okay with some gay jokes every now and again, but if it's every 5 seconds, it's too much. Too much. The level of unprofessionalism is far too high. Oh god. We're here. We're here at the Madoka clones. We finally reached that. And here's the Magical Girl Raising Project. I didn't really want to touch this show because I don't really like super edgy stuff. This one's basically just misery porn. Took the negative aspects of Madoka, just took it up to 20. This is another Madoka clone. Daybreak Illusion, I think it's called. This show's just really boring. It has some really cool character designs, but just boring. It tries to have the whole cool atmosphere that Madoka has, but just can't really hold the interest of an intrigue of it, of being atmospheric. It just gets boring. Oh, here's the best Madoka clone. Yukiyuna is a hero. This one has some really cool fights in it, but out of the Madoka clones, I like it the most. But there's another problem, and that is that it treats disabled characters kind of like shit. Like, you think it's gonna have some pretty cool representation with like having a disabled character, but then it just decides to be kind of disrespectful about it. But this show has some really great moments, though. Like, some pretty badass fights. So I don't hate it. And this one, the last one we have is a cute high school defense squad. Love, whatever. This one is kind of like Maho Shoujo Ore in that it tends to do a lot of gay jokes, but it's a bit more sincere about it. It's just very queerbaity, which I don't really care for. But it's a fun show. It's really silly at times, and I enjoy silliness. But I think the main character is really annoying, though. I think the sequel with like a different cast is a lot better. It has a lot more loves and whatever in the title. But it's just okay. It's kind of mediocre. It's not the greatest, not the worst. But the character designs are pretty cute, and they have a good voice cast, but not the best, not the worst. And I love that their little mascot dude, the wombat, is just like attached to a dead guy that he uses as a puppet, and it just gets progressively more decaying as the show goes on. It's a pretty funny gag. So here's my ranking. We have the iconic tier, the great tier, the good but not really magical girl tier, the sussy tier, the overrated tier, I'm sorry, the Madoka clones. So I think that's it. But I'll post the link to the tier maker thing that I made, so you guys can try out and show me what your tier list would be for this. And what should I do next for my tier ranking videos? I have a few ideas. Like, I could do some studio specific ones, like Studio Trigger or Studio Kyoani or Shaft. So I've seen a lot of those shows. Or I can do more other genre specific ones, like idols, cute girls doing cute things, isekai. So let me know in the comments below. And until next time, bye bye.